I said it's a I said it's a I said it's a Purple Pants Premonition.
Hello, and welcome to your December Purple Pants Premonitions. I am here with the co-host of the Purple Pants Premonitions, Gangsta Gary DeAndre. Welcome back to the podcast.
Thank you.
So happy to have you here,
I know.
especially today.
Who? Okay, because listen, today, this month, this year, she's been giving. Look at me. Okay, my nails ain't done. I look a mess. My hair dusty and uneven. Okay, like she is just here. She is hanging on by a prayer, but you know what? She couldn't miss out on another month, especially while she's lucid. Okay, we got to make sure that we get the premonitions while we can premonish.
Okay. Sometimes I feel like the storm, the life is the premonition, because I was like, sharing with you, and I even tweeted a little last night. I just was I shouldn't say the word is sad, but I just was going through some emotional turmoil.
Yeah.
And I really feel that it was just a combination of things. And it's like not just one thing, but there was just a lot of things, or there are a lot of things that are like moving parts of my life, or just emotional things that is going on. And I'm just out here trying to, be this face and and, act like, I'm not dealing with personal things. And I think last night, I had my candles lit. I was in the bathtub and I was listening to some Whitney Houston. I don't know, but and like one of her songs, like it's called Step by Step, Day by Day. And the words really just kind of hit me. And I was just like, wow, like it's okay to tap in with your emotions. And so when I tapped into my emotions, it seemed that I just got overwhelmed and I just began to like sob and just really kind of like allow the struggle, the pain to like come out of my body in tear form. And it really was good. And I do something that I don't normally do. I normally am like a very closed and very private person. I normally like to just deal with my issues like by myself. But instead, I kind of like reached out to like some close people in my circle and just sent a little text, sent a little SOS, just like, I feel like I'm going through it. And I think that was like one of the best things that I could have done, because I reached out to you, I called my mom, I talked to Wendell, and I just wanted to vent, just wanted to just talk about all of the stuff that was like working up in me. And it was just good to know that I'm not alone, and it's good to know that like I had this tribe around me that is like, one, not about me feeling sorry for myself. It's about giving me like action steps. It's about giving me like affirmations to know that like, no one said this road would be easy. But you are equipped to go through it. And it's like, this is a part of the process and it's okay. And it just reminded me that I'm human, and that I just know we all go through things, right? And so it's just like, just being transparent. And again, it's nothing bad and nothing like, but it's just my own personal things in which like, my life, my job, my family, friendships, my travel, like it's just all seems to be weighing on me. And it's like, I just feel like I can't get it right. I can't get like, I feel like I am trying to keep my head above water.
Absolutely. Little legs underneath the water.
So I was just really especially looking forward to this premonition, because it's like, what, let me just be honest with the posse. Let me be honest with Gary. Like, I'm just, I'm
hanging in there.
Right. Just hanging in there.
Amen. And I do have a question. Do you feel like after you had some time to like check in with your tribe and stuff like that, do you feel like that helped you to feel better, or not even feel renewed, but feel a little bit more at peace as you woke up today? Or do you feel like some of those feelings were still kind of like, reminiscent, or not reminiscent, like the remnants of yesterday were still in today? Or how are you feeling as you course throughout today?
So I feel like, one, my problems are still there, right? Like,
Absolutely.
But I feel a weight lifted, right? Like I feel like I just feel a weight lifted. Like I feel like I released something yesterday,
Mhm.
and it was something that was like weighing me down and just like not like trying to do everything on my own and be this perfect person and not utilizing the supports that I have. And so like again, just reaching out and talking to people really just made me feel supported, seen, heard, and realize that like it's okay, right? Like,
Yeah,
so like, I feel a lot better today. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, well, I
there's
still
still
got
some
this.
stuff going on. There's
Right.
some stuff happening. No, but I want to point out something that you said is that you did something that you normally don't do, which is reaching out to people in order to kind of like share where it is that you're checking in from. And I think that that's important because that shows one, a level of, come on now, growth. Okay, like we got some growth happening because you're allowing people to be a part of your life in a way that normally they don't get the capacity to really show up. And I'm also sure that those conversations that you had probably are they're resonating something in the spirits of the people that you reached out to. Because I know that it meant something to me because I was having my own spiral last night, and I spoke to you about it before. I was like, I'm very grateful that you talked about it with me because it let me know that I am not the only person who is experiencing some sort of spiral right now. And I think that this also goes into this theme that we may be seeing as we're getting into the month of December around, how do I want to say this? Like making time for our emotions, like making time for our feelings, like because we've been so busy with like trying to stay afloat all year, trying to stay afloat with everything with just like the holidays and trying to stay afloat with everything that's coming up with like Christmas and, everything closing up with like our businesses and, the jobs and everything like that. And it's like, when is the last time that we've made time for our emotions or just made time to talk about what it is that we are feeling and what it is that is stressing us out? Because everybody has something that's stressing them out. Everybody has something that's on their shoulders that they know that they wish was different, but they don't necessarily know what to do about it. And I feel like this is kind of like pushing us to really just like be mindful of everybody else has things that they are going through. And we can do our part to make sure that we're asking questions or just being present for our tribe, our community, the people in our lives. And also just being present with ourselves because it's really
Mm.
important right now.
Yeah. And even you saying that makes me think like, it's the holiday season and you're like, oh, what to get somebody, what to get. The present is your presence. And I don't
Yeah.
mean it in the sense of like, I'm here. Like, but
Mhm.
the present really can be your presence of lending an ear, allowing someone to vent, talk, share, like, like your presence really is the present.
Yes.
And it's give the presents to yourself,
Yes.
right? Like, like you want to give gifts to everybody, give the present gift to yourself. And again, for me, it was like me stressing about all of the things that I'm stressing about. And I just push them to the back of my mind, right? Like, it's like
Yes.
I don't give myself a second to like marinate in it. Like, well, let's actually think this out. What are we going to do here? And so again, just allowing myself that presence last night. And although like, it came in emotional form. I'm just an emotional person. Like I'm a
Amen.
crier. Like, I don't mind. I love a good cry, but I hadn't had a good cry like that in a while. And so I just really just giving myself that presence really felt
Yes.
different, felt good, felt like, just
Forgiveness.
mm,
That's what it is. The theme of forgiveness and forgiveness is a gift. Forgiveness is a gift to yourself, from yourself. It's a gift to others, from yourself, because that's a choice. And I think that what it sounds like is that you gave yourself the gift of forgiveness, forgiving yourself for things not being great, forgiving yourself for also just like being in a space where maybe you were a little closed off with some of the things that were going on with people in your life. And now you're forgiving yourself enough to be open with them and letting them in. And that is something that's like really important to be like mindful of. And also you've allowed yourself to feel the anger, the hurt, the guilt, the pain, the frustration. Like that is a gift that a lot of us don't give ourselves because we feel guilty for being angry. We feel guilty for having feelings. And I think that this theme of forgiveness is showing up as our theme for the month of December because we're being forced to be like, okay, like things were not, we thought 2023 was going to be it. we were talking about this before we hopped on here. I was like, I need to go back and listen to the monthly, like, or the premonitions at the very beginning of the year, just to see if it gave any insight as to what this year was going to be. Because I don't know about you, but this year, 2023, she was hefty. She was something else. And it's like, for me to be on the other side of it, this is not what I anticipated that I would be. However, I have to forgive myself for it not being the year that I thought it was going to be. And maybe that is something that you or a listener out there needs to do, as far as just like being okay with what this year was. It was a 7-year in numerology, and a 7-year is a very heavy spiritual year. And I would not be surprised if someone feels more spiritually connected to themselves, or it's just like you start seeing yourself more as being in tune with who you are and what's going on. So I want everybody to be mindful that right now we are figuring out, how do we feel good? How do we feel secure? How do we feel like 100% ready to go into 2024 with clear mind, and also with clear heart, knowing that things are going to be okay? Because I know that I have been wondering whether or not I was going to make it through this year all year.
But here we are.
Here we are. Here I am. Yes.
It may not have been what we wanted, but again, the gift itself is that we survived it. We weathered the storm. We sheltered in place. We're here to talk about it, and we're here to experience it. And we now have this year in our rear, in our backpack, in our compartment that or in our toolbox, right? Because we went through this year, and now we have more tools that we didn't have because we weren't expecting this year, and we had to make shift and do what we had to do, but we're here. And again, I think that that's really an important piece as well, about forgiveness and being present, is that we're here right now.
Yes. And we still have opportunity no matter what. So in the spirit of that, where's the deck? Hold on, because I want to make sure that I'm grabbing the right deck. There we go. Ooh, that's not the right one. I'm going to use the Wandering Star Tarot. Hold on, let me see if I can get the lighting correct. There we go. In order to pull just a couple of cards, just so that way you all can see what we are going to get for the month of December. And we're just going to see what comes up. So, Spirit Guides, Purple Pants, Premonitions, Posse, and all of the listeners out there, thank you so much for the blessing of today. Let's see. Okay, so knock on the cards. Can I get just a couple of cards to represent what we are going to see in the month of December? Okay, so we'll shuffle there and stop there. Just a couple of cards to represent what we're going to see in the month of December. So we got a couple of cards. Can I get one more, please? How do we fix? Thank you. Anything else? Oh, okay.
Just jumped on out. Okay, I want to know what that card was.
Okay, we got a couple over there. All right, so boom. The first two cards that come out, Six of Wands and the Three of Swords. In the Three of Swords, Six of Wands in reverse here. So with there we go. The Six of Wands coming up in reverse. This is all about, we may not be feeling super victorious, but victory is something that we have access to when it comes to anything that has been breaking our heart. Okay. So with the Three of Swords, the Three of Swords is talking about any sort of heartbreak or any sort of situations that have been causing us to feel like we are feeling depressed. Any sort of situations that have been causing us to feel like we are not at peace with ourselves, right? Anything that has been causing heartbreak, sorrow, grief. The Six of Wands is coming to tell us that victory, triumph is in our periphery. It's in our view. Like, we can see these things coming in front of us. But the Four of Cups is telling us in reverse here that because we may be feeling a little bit withdrawn, the only thing that's going to help us to get better is when we step out of ourselves and step out into the world, right? The enlightenment that comes from our emotions is what's going to be the most important thing to focus on here. So some of the key words for the Four of Cups are yearning, disillusion, and boredom. What are the things that do not make you feel bored anymore? What are the things that do not make you feel like you are missing out on stuff in your life? I also want you to think about throughout the month of December, Like, what are some of the things that you know you deserve better from, and you've been getting heartbreak or you've been getting stressed out because you've been putting yourself in situations that actually are not of benefit to you. So it's like whatever's been causing you heartbreak, this is a sign that you can take a left into a different direction. And you've been questioning whether or not you know that it's time to take the left, or maybe take the right, or maybe hop over it and maybe do a little split. You know what I'm saying? But it's time for you to go ahead and make a move instead of you thinking that, you staying in the same place is what's going to keep you healthy. So the first thing that makes me think is like, for me personally, like this shows up in a job, not leaving a job, but more like finding another sort of income, or finding another sort of like a source in order to bring something in that's going to be of benefit. This also makes me think about a relationship that I have in my life. And it's just like, okay, like this is causing you sorrow. This is causing you not necessarily pain, but this is also showing you that better is out there, right? And more is out there. And now you've gotten a lesson about what it is that you desire. But the only way for you to get more is by knowing like that you deserve more, and saying like, I deserve more, and confronting it with saying like, I'm gonna get mine. So sometimes, what's the little, why spend mine when I can spend yours? Okay, that's the lyric that comes to mind. So why be worried about mine when okay, why you worried about mine? I'm be worried about yours. Okay. So I get this as a sense of victory is on the other side of a heartbreak. But we have to allow ourselves to know that there is bigger and better and bolder when we start allowing ourselves to get to that place of reception. So that's one message for the upcoming month. Because I know that you asked about this second set of cards, but I want to see, what is this speaking to for you right now?
Yeah, like I really feel like it's more about like, I want to choose my words carefully, but like knowing my worth, and
Yes.
you know, knowing my worth in situations, and really like being able to stand on it. And if my worth if you don't see my worth, then taking my worth where is value.
It's worthy. Okay,
Mm,
taking my worth where is worthy.
mm. So that's really what it speaks to me about.
Yeah.
And yeah, sometimes it's difficult because it's when people tell you your worth and tell you all these great things, but inside, not that you don't believe it, but you don't believe it, right? Like
Mhm,
where you
mhm.
just feel like, and it's really just stepping into your own and really claiming who and what you are and the powers that you possess,
Yeah.
and really owning it, and really like, and I think, I don't know if other people struggle with it, but I struggle. Well, one, I always struggle with like receiving compliments, right? Because I sometimes I just don't feel like I'm worthy of it, or the high praise that people will give me. I'd be like, you lying, like, or like, and it's really like, actually, like, no, standing in it and receiving it and knowing it, and that's not braggadocious. That's not, it ain't nothing wrong with that, right? It's like, I feel like I have very humble beginnings, and I really always want to remain humble, but remaining humble does not mean you can't acknowledge your worth.
Yeah, absolutely. And honestly, you should be bragging on yourself. You should be talking yourself up. Like, because if you don't, nobody will. Nobody will give us in life what it is that we want more than what we can give ourselves. Because we are the people that know ourselves best. So we gotta do what we gotta do for us, period, point blank, plain and simple. Now, some of us are waiting on some good news to come our way. The Page of Wands comes up. And the Page of Wands is all about good news, good communication. I also see this as like us maybe starting a new project and having like the very beginning stages of getting some action going. This means that some of our debts will be cleared out.
Mm.
This also means that some of our anxiety will go away. Some of our worries will not be there anymore. We'll still have them, but some of those worries and some of those stresses and some of those things that have been overwhelming us are going to start flipping onto its other side. So we're going to start seeing some really good things coming our way in the back half of the month. I feel like after we get through the 15th, and we start getting closer to holiday, like heavy holiday season, that's when we're going to see some of our destiny, some of the karmic things, all the good energy that you spend putting out over the next couple of days, next couple of weeks. You'll start seeing that coming back to you in the next couple of after you get through the 15th. So just hang tight. Be mindful of being communicative about the things that you're doing with others. Being upfront is going to be really, really important. And the other thing that's going to be really important is just like using all of your resources right now in order to make sure that you are taking advantage of the things that are in front of you. Sometimes we have things in front of us and we're scared to ask questions, or we're scared to like open our mouths in order to receive help or in order to receive guidance. And this is saying, pick up a book, ask somebody a question, like get on Google, go do your research, like stop second, like get online and start looking up answers to those questions, to the things that you've been wondering. Like all of those things are going to be super, super helpful for you when you are getting an answer to a question that's really important to you over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be really, really great for us in terms of releasing heartbreak, and also really great for us in terms of how we are moving forward in life, especially as we're getting ready to move into 2024. So I don't know. I have high hopes. I don't want to get too crazy about it, but 2024 in numerology breaks down to the number 8. So this is all about abundance and money and expansion. So I feel like this could be a very great year for our coin, our finances, making the big dollar, whatever that means. Not trying to be too rich and wealthy and everything, but you know what I'm saying? Like be well off. We're trying to get some of that money back, that everything that we've been through is taken away from us. Because listen, inflation is real. The almighty dollar, she ain't dollaring the way that she used to dollar. Okay. So we need something to dust off a little bit of the energy.
Yes. Ooh, okay. I received that. The abundance come my way. Take these student loans off my back.
Okay. The student loans, all the debt, get this credit score where it needs to be. Like amen and ashe to all those things. Okay.
Yes.
So just be mindful. Stay focused. What is the perspective that you're focused on right now? Like, how are you staying optimistic instead of being a pessimistic type of person? Are you looking at the things that you have done instead of the things that you haven't done? Like, be mindful of that as you're going throughout this month, and how you speak to yourself about those things as well.
Well, I mean, if that's not a word, I don't know what a word is. Yeah, I received that. I feel like the messages are always on point, and I hope that whoever is listening to this, I hope that you get something out of it, and I hope that you take this message with you, because I think that it's important. And for me, after we record these, I always listen again, because I always say sometimes when you're recording it, it's like my focus is to be present, but not like necessarily receive all of the goodness from the premonition. So I always double back and listen. So I'm excited. Thank you, our listeners, for listening again for another year. We appreciate it. We do this for you. And so Gigi, I thank you so much for being my friend, being my support, always showing up, and just shining your light, and continue to shine your light, because no matter what you're going through, the storm does not last always. And you have a tribe, and you're destined for greatness. And so it's like, speak that to yourself, as I will speak it to myself as well. If I'll make you that deal. Okay.
I love that. Come on now. So listen, are we in an alliance?
Okay. We might be
an alliance,
because knowledge is power, right?
Knowledge is power.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Do you have anything going on you want to let the people know about?
If you would like to get your own services, I am open. Come find me at Gangstergurry on Twitter, on Instagram, gangstergurry.com, even though it's going through its own facelift right now. So just come find me. I'm giving yearly readings. So basically, if you want to get a reading to figure out what your year 2024 is going to look like, holler at your boy. Or if you just want something general, we can schedule that as well. I also have some of my Reiki candle services that are being opened right now. So come holler at me if you would like to work with me. Or if you're interested in purchasing my deck, Tarot for You and Me, being released on May 28, 2024, you can find that on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, anywhere where you can get your books sold. So holla.
I love it. Well, this has been your Purple Pants Premonitions for the month of December. Be well, be blessed, and we will see you in the new year.
I said it's a I said it's a I said it's a Purple Pants Premonition.